Will the two-door Wrangler make it to the next generation? There's obviously a ton of reasons why it could make it to the next generation, and a lot of reasons why it could get killed off. Well guys, let's break this video down. A few years ago, we shot something similar to this, and honestly, the reception was fantastic. That was right around when the new 24s were being announced, when the new body style was coming out, and kind of that interior upgrade. And we thought a few years later, it makes sense to do this. There's been so many people talking in our comments, because obviously we pick up new Jeeps, we've got Gladiators and Wranglers, that people just say they wish they could buy a two-door and they wish it was more affordable. But I think what we're gonna get into first is some reasons why Jeep might keep the two-door around. After that, we'll get into reasons why they would kill it, and then our personal thoughts on all of this. And before we get too far into this video, we'd like to thank everyone for stopping by today. If it's your first time watching a Dirt Road Cred video, welcome to the channel. And if you've been subscribed for quite some time, welcome back to the channel. We're glad to have all of you guys here. But one of the big things for us is we're really trying to hit that 100K mark. It's something in Ryan and I's head that we would love to hit before Daytona Jeep Beach. And there's a huge incentive if you are subscribed by the time we hit that. So if you don't mind, take a chance, hit the subscribe button. You can always hit the unsubscribe if you don't like us in the future, but we've got a lot of cool stuff coming out. So let's get into the next section of this video. Well guys, let's talk about it here. The Wrangler first came out in the year 1987 with the YJ Wrangler. It had made a name change from going from two-letter abbreviations to the original Wrangler, and it had always been a two-door up until the year 2007. So it made a 20-year run of just being a two-door until it was introduced as a four-door. Very long time, and it earned a lot of reputation as being an incredible off-road machine, a fun vehicle, something that an off-roader could take out, something you could take to the ski resort, you could drive on the beach, you really could do everything with a Wrangler. It was a staple point in the 80s and 90s to have a ton of different flashy trims, and then in the TJ, they started getting to more off-road prowess, introducing the Rubicon, different Sahara models, and all sorts of different partnerships. But the Wrangler two-door is what a lot of people envision when they hear of a Jeep Wrangler. They don't necessarily think of a four-door, they think of one of those two doors. And I would say one of the first reasons why they couldn't kill it off is because of the notoriety of the Jeep. That Wrangler name, that Jeep name has been around in just a two-door model, and by killing it off, I think you would lose a lot of the purists and a lot of people like us that do drive two doors as well as four doors as well as Gladiators, just because that's where it all started. And I do understand why they have still a two-door coming out is because it does fit the bill for a lot of folks. But the first reason they should keep it around is because it is an off-road icon. It is an icon for the Jeep brand, and you lose a lot of authenticity by killing off what originally got you started. Probably the second reason why they wouldn't kill this off is because of the off-road power of the two-door. Ryan and I both drive two doors, and the turning radius, the off-road capabilities, the nimbleness, the lightness, the power to weight ratio of this Jeep makes them feel like rocket ships, even compared to the Hemi-powered Gladiators that we have out there. I'd argue with the 488s and 456 in Ryan's Jeep, these things fly. They rip around, they feel light, they feel nimble, they feel fun. When I take the top and doors off of the two-door and roll down a back country road flying around on it, it feels, I don't know what the word is for it. It just feels like more freedom than a four-door. Like it feels like you're back with that nostalgia. It feels like you're back and you can control the entire Jeep. I've only had two doors up until I got the four-door in the JL generation, and I can tell you I'm way more comfortable off-roading in a two-door because I can almost feel where the back corner of my Jeep is. I can feel how tight I can turn it on the trail. The breakover angles are better. It is a better Jeep for a lot of the instances, especially where we go off-roading. And honestly, the off-road capability of it just is not matched by a lot of other vehicles on the market. So the secondary reason is just because of that. If you're going to build a Jeep for off-roading and you really want to take it on tight technical trails, the two-door Wrangler is your solution. The next thing that we wanted to talk about is that although the percentage has been gradually declining, and there's varying reports on what the actual percentage of two-door versus four-door sales are, is that it still does arguably make up between, I've seen everywhere from 5 to 15% of the sales. We're going to average that out at about 10%. So that still means 1 in 10 Wrangler vehicles are two-door Wranglers. If you sell 1 million, that means you're still selling 100,000 two-doors, and that is quite a bit of vehicles out on the road. Now, what's cool about that is a lot of that does share the same structure as the four-door Wrangler. And that, I guess, will be our next point that I wanted to talk about here. Good chunk of the two-door shares the infrastructure of the four-door and also shares a lot of the infrastructure of the Gladiator. When you look at a two-door, basically the tub, the roll cage, the harnesses, when I say harnesses, I mean wiring, the exhaust, and a couple other features of the frame included are specific for the two-door, much like they are specific for the Gladiator. But then when you go from the front of the door forward, the hood, the fender flares, the fenders, the bumpers, the axle, the suspension, the rear axle, the rear tailgate, the wheels and tires, that all shares a lot of the same infrastructure of other Wranglers out there. The interior dash, not the roll cage, but the sound bar, the engines, a lot of the harnesses, and the wiring underneath the hood are the same. So really the design work and the cost comes into what makes it two-door specific. It shares a lot of the same platforms, and that's a reason why I would argue on both sides. But a reason why they would keep it is because it does use a lot of the same components. It just shares them with the four-door and with the Gladiator, but there are a lot of differences. So a reason they could keep it is because you just have to design a few different things versus then have an entirely different vehicle with a new engine, with new axles, with everything being one-off. It does get to share a lot. So when you're bringing parts in, you can throw that on a four-door, you can throw it on a Gladiator, or you can throw it on a two-door. So now, Ryan, the juicy part. The part that we don't like to talk about, but when you start thinking about new models, new generations, new trims, are they going to kill things off? We have seen them do this in the past, unfortunately, with some of our absolute favorite things. They killed off the EcoDiesel like it was nothing. Everyone loved a lot of these trims, a lot of the packages, and if it makes business sense, Jeep seems to keep it around. If it doesn't make business sense, they also seem to keep it around. If it loses them money, they also put more money into it. So there's real no rhyme or reason. So it's kind of like if you've ever been playing roulette at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas and lost so much money there, like one of our biggest fans of the channel, that's what it's like with Jeep. And it seems like for them to get what we want them to do, it has to land on 00. Let's get into it first off with the point that we ended with why they would keep it. The 10% or the 5 to 15% of annual sales being related to the two-door Wrangler. Now, I'll play this in our opinions. I will touch back on this, but if it is only 10% of the Wrangler sales, that's a very low number. That's a tenth of the sales. It's not really a lot there. And when they think about the costs that it would take to advertise, to engineer, to build, to design, to get it ready for production, that is a lot of money involved to only do 10% of the business. So when you look at it in the percentage of the entire Wrangler sales, does it make more sense for them to take that 10% of the sales and the money they would invest into designing, advertising, putting all that into another four-door trim or another four-door model or a revamped Gladiator? Does it make more sense to put that elsewhere? And when you look at it, it is hard because you could play it both ways. While it's like, that's just a little bit of our sales, but that's also still, that's 10% of our sales. Ryan, you and I, we see light orders come through every single day for our four-door kit. Some of the colors don't sell as well as the other colors, but then one week we'll have loaded up with that color. So it's hard for us to just be like, you know what, we don't want to offer it because it's a little bit less in sales. I think it comes the same with Jeep. One reason they might kill it though, 10% of sales is not that much. They've got to go with annual reports, earning reports, all that other fun stuff. When you're showing that we've invested millions and billions into this two-door and we only sell this much a year, it's very hard to justify. So I'd say the first reason would be the lower percentage of sales compared to the four-door. Don't worry, a lot of folks are still producing high-quality products for the two-door JL, including today's video sponsor, Clayton Off-Road. We've been massive fans of these guys and friends with them for a very long time, and in fact, Ryan is actually running their 1.5-inch Overland Plus suspension system on his two-door JL. It picked it up fantastically. It rides awesome. And these guys have all sorts of products, not only for your two-door, but for all sorts of other Wrangler and Gladiator vehicles. We cannot wait to install some brand new lift kit components onto our Gladiators and other rigs in the future. Thanks to Clayton Off-Road. Now let's continue on this one. Next up is sort of the demographic of a two-door buyer versus a four-door Wrangler buyer. We actually found a really interesting article. We will leave the link down below because it seems to be a statistics company that goes out, takes surveys, or buys data from Stellantis and puts together the demographic of who is a four-door buyer, who is a two-door buyer, what their income is. The biggest thing that we've found, though, is looking at JL and JLU owners. This website, I don't know when the survey was taken, but said that for individuals under 25 years old, that only accounts for 1% of JL 2-door and JL 4-door consumers. 1%. Everyone watching this video, whether you're in college now, you've been in high school, you've been in college, you know what it's like to be in that situation. You can't afford a very expensive Jeep. You're trying to get something pretty cheap, roll around, enjoy it, and have a good time. And that's why I think it does constitute less than 1% under the year 25, is because the pricing has definitely gone up on all of these vehicles. But what particularly I found most interesting, because I'm in that boat, is that it's at over 90% of JL 4-door owners have children in their home. That, I think, is probably the biggest thing that Jeep is thinking of, is how many people are trying to stuff 2 kids in the back of a 2-door, trying to put car seats in the back, and then have any room for anything behind that. Because Ryan, you and I both know the cargo area is about this big, and then you added a subwoofer and it takes up that much space. So there's not much room in the back of a 2-door. The demographic has definitely shifted to a 4-door buyer because they have children, they have more people in the household, and they want to be able to carry more things. Here in the US, we have the probably highest level of storage facilities ever in history, and it's because people have more stuff and they want more stuff, and the 4-door can hold more stuff. The 2-door doesn't hold that much, including kids, including cargo, and a lot of other items. So I would say the demographic has definitely shifted a lot. People are being more aware of what they're spending their money on, and also aware that their dollar has to go a lot further. You can't spend money on a 2-door Wrangler just to use it as a toy. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I need it to be my daily, my off-road warrior, my take the kids to soccer practice, pick the grandkids up, be able to haul 4 people and do it comfortably. So I think that's a thing that Jeep is going to be looking at, is the percentage of ownership age and how many kids are in the household, because it's now 90% of 4-door owners. Now, another reason we're kind of thinking of it, obviously you guys know we cover all of the Jeep 12 for 12 drops. So they're releasing a drop once a month on the 12th. It's interesting because there's been no 2-door love for that. And I've seen a lot of comments on our channel specifically about the fact that there's no 2-door love. The white cap, the 41, obviously the 392s. Is the 85th anniversary? That's only 4-door and Gladiator as well. So that's really weird for me. The 85th anniversary of Jeep didn't put it on the Jeep that kind of started it. There's been no love at all for the 2-door, and I do think that's because Jeep knows the sales numbers are less, and they're not going to spend money on a specialty trim. But on the 85th, I think that was a swing and a miss. That's pretty easy to throw plaid seats and a couple decals and the wheels onto a 2-door. They definitely should have done that. And who knows, I could be wrong, but I was almost positive it's only for the 4-door and the Gladiator. But that kind of shows us a little bit, if they're not investing money to make specialty trims thus far onto the 2-door, is there a future for it? Are they going to invest more into it? If they're not even willing to put a little bit of money into the 2-door specialty trims, are they going to be willing to put a lot of money into redesigning it for the next model year? That's been an interesting one. And we do have there's a lot of ducks ahead for those 12 for 12 drops. It would make sense for them to at least do one. But so far, a third of the drops, 33% of them are out, and there's been nothing on the 2-door. As of now, I'm not too optimistic. So it's the fact that the demographics changed, the lifestyle, the ownership of a 2-door used to be someone single, married, no kids, or maybe one kid, and just a fun toy that you could park in the garage, run to the beach on the weekends, go to the grocery store, go to the off-road park, and just be more of a toy. And now it's turned into, we have to make this into a vehicle that can kind of do a lot of different things. So I think, just like speaking about the demographics, less than 1% of the Wrangler JL and JLU owners are under the age of 25. And that's a very low statistic. I would argue that the ownership of Cherokees and Compass that Jeep builds are probably a higher figure, because you can get those down into the 20s and low 30s for a very well-equipped Jeep. But they need to get that demographic in order to survive in the longevity. The reason a lot of us presently are driving Jeeps is because we have some sort of nostalgic moment or history memory with that vehicle. I would argue that that's perhaps all of us that are watching this video. Maybe you got into it later in life, but you probably either grew up in the back of a Wrangler, in the back of a Jeep, or have very fond memories of someone close to you that had one. If the current generation now doesn't make those memories, isn't in the back of a Jeep, isn't having fun the way that the Jeep and the Wrangler was intended to be, I think that's going to cost more long-term than it is right away. It's already costing right away right now, but long-term, the brand loyalty is going to diminish quite quickly. And who knows, maybe they won't care, Ryan, because every 10, 15 years Jeep gets sold anyways. So, and maybe it won't matter, but for us, it does matter because we would love to see those young families, those young people out in the Wrangler, out in these vehicles having fun. Ultimately, the price, I think, is the biggest factor. Price is definitely the big one. And then just making it more available for other folks. I think even if we did all this to just a sport model, got it lower down in price, and you still have the Rubicon and the higher other trims, just to get something into that 20s mark would be absolutely amazing. And I think it would pretty much go viral across the off-road and automotive industries. On today's viewer rig of the video, viewer rigs are back, and we're starting off with Anthony's beautiful 2024 Jeep JL Extreme Recon Rubicon in the Earl Grey. This color is said to be making a return soon. This is a great way to transition and see what one of these actually looks like. Now, he's got this thing really dialed in and very clean. It is still running on the factory Extreme Recon suspension, a set of 38s on KMC fully machined wheels, and then he's got Savvy armor all around. Savvy off-road front bumper, inner fenders and rear bumper, as well as a little bit of their corner armor. Now, I love the triple Earl Grey, Earl fenders, Earl top, and the Earl Jeep all around. It looks absolutely fantastic. And one of the things that he said he's actually going to be doing soon is a set of RCV axle shafts to be able to run a set of 40s on this thing. But already on the 38s, it is a beautiful looking Jeep and a really cool way to see Earl making a comeback. Now, speaking of comebacks, that's why you guys are hearing about viewer rigs for today. We have a very easy setup for you to be able to submit. All you've got to do is email rigs@dirtroadcredmedia.com. It'll automatically put it into its own email box, and you have a chance of your rig being featured on our channel. Huge thanks to Anthony for submitting, and really cool Jeep to check out. The video today was about two-door Wranglers, and I know Jeep watches the comments, they watch these videos, probably sometimes begrudgingly, they're like, dang it, Dirt Road Cred dropped another video, let's see what they had to say about us. Drop a comment there down below. Why should they save the two-door, and then what's your reasoning behind it, or what do they need to do? Maybe you fit under that 25 and under category. What would push you to buy, and what's a realistic payment for you? So we're curious what you have to say down below. We'd love to get a conversation going, and thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, we're gonna go try and warm up a little bit. Hopefully the snow thaws out, and hopefully your part of the country is warmer than us. Ryan from behind the camera and me here talking to you. We want you to get out there and earn yours.